I have to say that Giant Mouse knives are manufacturing some of the most magnetic designs lately that I just really connect with. Those Anzo Vox collaborations are just wild, including this guy right here. This will be coming soon in a review, MagnaCut steel on the Jagged. This is just a wild, wild, exquisite, just exotic kind of blade. And they're known for their folders, but they also make some fixed blades, and that's what we're going to be digging into today and slicing to the root of this Giant Mouse GMF2 PR. Now, the F2 model is not new. This guy is coming in like an exclusive setup with this particular style of Italian-made leather sheath we're going to look at, this particular type of handle, different type of steel. And I believe, from my understanding, they've only made 300 variants of this exclusive. So we're going to unpack today what is special about the exclusive, how does the design overall operate as a compact fixed blade. We're going to run in some competitive options that I got to consider in that size range and really discover what all of the attributes that are super sick about this blade, but also one aspect that is a gut kicker for me that I have to unpack with you. So we're gonna go in and dive in with this blade. If you have been hanging here at the channel for a while and you're coming back for this video, thanks for joining me. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron, this is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in. So one thing I noticed right out of the gate with this design is it's a very sleek profile. Some of the competitive options I'm going to run in are pretty wide, broad, and stubby. This feels really nimble, sleek, and has a more silhouette matching a pocket knife than it does like a big fixed blade that was shrunk down to be compact. So that was the first thing right out of the gate that really drew me to the design. It wasn't just big, broad, and fat. The second here, which is really cool for the exclusive, and as I give you some basic specs here, handle to tip is 3.5, actual cutting edge is like 3.3 inches. Stock thickness back here is 0.15 or 4 millimeters, so just over 1/8, and then tapers slowly to a tip right there that is precise but has some durability behind it. They actually brought up 1/8 of the grind for this exclusive. So they actually like brought it up a little bit, which is pretty cool, giving you a lot of basically a full flat grind portion here and just accelerates sliceability. So when a knife has a higher grind, it may lose a little bit of strength, but this is a little compact 3.3, blade. I'm not really worried about strength. I'm not going to be trying to crack open a log with this thing or something. I would prefer sliceability. This delivers that by giving you a higher grind than the original version. So I really do like that. And with the overall sweep, even though it's a thin blade, and piercing as well as just edge geometry, it really did perform well and basically competes with most of my overbuilt pocket knives. Now, this does have a wash type of coating on it on Italian-made N690. So that is the type of steel that this exclusive model is using. N690, it's nothing to write home about. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised this isn't MagnaCut for being like a limited run exclusive version. And they are using MagnaCut, on the Jagged. Now, N690 is nothing to balk at. I love it. I use it quite a bit on a lot of my, I wouldn't say budget per se, but those level of knives. It's very rust resistant, relatively tough, don't have a hard time resharpening it, and holds a decent edge. If you put it up against like 14C28N, most people would say that N690 is better than 14C and will tend to hold its edge a little longer, even though 14C28N is a little tougher. But again, in this size range, toughness is not really something I'm looking for. So we'll discuss how that all plays in a little bit later when we talk value and just some other aspects and competitive options. But that is what this particular model is sporting. So overall blade geometry, size, and a very workable steel option on this. Now, in just a moment, we're gonna get to those handle ergonomics, but before we do, I do wanna invite you guys to hit that like button and to consider subscribing if you haven't yet. When you hit that like button, it does help us go up in the recommendations here on YouTube, and I'm putting up videos like this every single week, unpacking pros and cons of gear. So if you're not yet subscribed, I do invite you to become part of the GT crew here. And it is truly you guys in partnership with our regular sponsors that do help me to create content just like this. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is HUCKBERRY. This Father's Day, give Dad more than just a gift. Give him an adventure with HUCKBERRY's exclusive Father's Day collection. Whether you're wanting to hook him up with premium apparel and accessories or top-notch gear for the great outdoors, HUCKBERRY has you covered. Maybe your dad's like mine and he's always enjoyed exploring the wilderness. But in contrast, maybe he prefers to master the grill, enjoy a quiet moment of solitude, or hit the back nine on the weekend. Regardless of what your dad's personality and hobbies are, HUCKBERRY's Father's Day gift guide has a massive selection that's sure to have the gift that will put a smile on his face and show your love and appreciation this Father's Day. And you ladies, I know it's tough sometimes to shop for us guys when you're wanting to bless that amazing father to your children, but HUCKBERRY's gift guide will help point you in the right direction. And don't forget that there's standardized shipping through June 9th and expedited shipping ends June 13th. So don't let that window close to bless those fathers in your life. And I will also have my exclusive 10% off promo code that you can apply towards your very first purchase with the link in the description box below. Now to the handle, this blood burgundy red handle, Ron Burgundy type of handle. Now, this is again an exclusive. This is G10. I like the texture. It looks like micarta, and they put a couple little notches in there to give you a little tactile feel. I would say 30% grit. You know, it's not polished and it's not like super heavy and like, you know, a Recon from Cold Steel or something. So you get a little bit of a pattern, a little bit of a texture feel to it. G10 impervious to guts, gunk. If you're using this as a fishing knife, you know, you're using it as a hunting knife or just around camp, you know, doing some food prep, you're not going to get it all nastied up like the micarta version, though micarta is also great. You're going to get a crowned spine. Now that doesn't create any issues for me. They do that usually on most of the Giant Mouse designs, and they execute it perfectly. Now, what's really important, and I highlighted this on the Ursus Cub. The Ursus Cub was a little short for me, and you guys really appreciated the dimensions that I gave you of my spanning across my knuckles here of my palm, which is 3 1/4. That's about how long, wide my hand is. Check out the size on that baby. Look at all the real estate out the back if I'm up on that guard, and that's a natural grip for me. Tons of real estate on the back end there if I'm up on that bird beak. You can see that's really important on a compact fixed blade. How big is the handle, and do you have enough real estate to really grip onto it and doesn't feel like you're like 3-finger in the thing is the preference for me. Now it does have a very sharp transition right there. I wish that was a little more gradual. So I mean, if your hand is monstrously wide, you may be bumping up on that. Never created an issue for me. You do have a little hit of jumping right there and a little hit right there. That's the way to do it if you're going to. And that really rests my finger well because it doesn't bite in, but gives me some control to really manipulate the tool. And if you were to go in a reverse grip, I have a lot of traction right there to stab and pierce if necessary. And it spans my hand wide enough that I can get a reverse chest lever grip and do some more woods crafting. And it's not really going to create an issue or a hot spot. So excellent in that regard. I actually didn't look at the thickness here. I'm going to do my best for us. I'm going to say 0.6 on the maximum thickness, and slowly tapers either side. So again, it feels like a pocket knife. That's how it feels to me, but none of my fingers ever float. So I really like that, really encapsulating the handle really well. Two bolts holding it into place there. So now as we roll into, before we talk some competitive options in that one kind of gut punch aspect, we have an Italian-made dangler, very slim sheath. I really like this sheath, guys. It is classy, fills out the blade very nicely. I can really grab and deploy very easily. So I really enjoy that. Slim. Hey, this would be a great Father's Day gift. Just think of that. Like that would be. I mean, it just feels and looks exquisite. And that's something that Giant Mouse always seems to accomplish and do it really well. Is when they create stuff, it doesn't look industrial and mechanical. It looks really natural and streamlined. And that leather sheath is amazing. I believe it's right hand only orientated. You can do lashing points, those type of things. The tension is good. It's not falling out there. Very, very nice leather sheath, black, Italian made, just like the knife itself. Now, let's talk about that I love everything about this blade, guys. I do love carrying it. I have EDC'd it regularly. We've done some woodscraft, and you know, the stuff you see in the video is just a portion of when I'm actually recording. I'm doing all kinds of testing, just carrying on a regular basis. The main thing for me, and I do appreciate Giant Mouse hooking me up with this model to show all the pros and the cons to help you determine if it's the right tool for you. The exclusive version is going for $235. $235 for the exclusive model, which is pretty pricey when you look at the materials. When you even see the original with non-exclusive was $195, and it's odd because on their website they do have a version when in stock has a full flat grind with M390 for $185. So I don't understand really the pricing structure, honestly, at all. Any way you slice it, you're paying quite a bit of money for the type of materials that this knife is built out of. We're looking at every other aspect, fit and finish, quality, materials, all of that. You know, those aspects are all great, and that is, to me, makes it tough to go, yeah, this is awesome. If it was like $150, you know, with this type of steel, I would definitely be like, yeah, this is awesome. So you have to really weigh, do you like every aspect in the design and materials, and you're going after the design and the presentation and the capability that a slim knife offers, then some of this other stuff. For an example, here is the Confidant from TJ Schwartz, Magna Cut steel, made in the USA, small batch type of stuff being produced, customizable leather sheaths made by his dad in Idaho, or you can get Kydex. It definitely looks a lot more industrial, you know, and they do have micarta and G10 in different versions, stuff like that. Very similar in size, not quite as big a handle. Magna Cut steel, $195 last I checked. $195, made in the USA. And I actually have a link to this. I'll have links to all these below that we're highlighting, including the Giant Mouse. I have scored a 10% off promo code, so that is going to be included below on your orders for TJ Schwartz designs. So something just kind of be aware of there. Just for some food for thought, just because I really have been using it a lot and digging it as well. Very industrial, very different. But the A&V knives, P200 in Sleipner steel, made in Italy, or this one's made, sorry, this is made in the Czech Republic. This has like a polymer handle, very cool blade, really like it, a lot more tactical. I think these are like 120 Kydex sheath, and I put an ulti-clip on it, so I've been pocket carrying this sucker, and it's a blast to carry that one. One other option here, just really fast, just to kind of give us food for thought, and again, though, you can see that those are a lot broader, going back to that TJ Schwartz one. It has a lot broader blade. It's not as sleek and like quick as the Giant Mouse. So again, design may be a big kicker. Then I have the AK 3.5 right here. Again, you can see how bulky, kind of beefy it is. Same size, but the handle's a lot beefier, fatter. It weighs a lot more. This guy's gonna weigh like 4.3 ounces before the sheath. This one's a little bit heavier. This model from Architect Knives, this guy, I built out in S35VN steel. Is that what it is? Yeah, S35VN and G10. That one's like $220, and I'll link to them with a leather sheath dangler option right there. And I believe there's also a promo code for that I have. So, you know, we're talking about the same price, but again, American made, and S35VN, I would argue, is better than N690, and about the same price. So, and you can kind of customize that one with different types of sheaths and different types of handle scales. So guys, that's really where I sit with the Giant Mouse GMF2. I love everything about it, the design, the features, the ergonomics, the quality, all of it. You're really just gonna have to weigh, does the price point match what is being presented, and is it making sense for you or not? Other than that, performance-wise, super pleased, and just layout is really, really cool. Gonna be in the collection for a while because it really does connect with me for that EDC task. And it's a lot like, you know, if I'm looking at these are very like kind of industrial. Again, this is very like natural, organic, stylish, and great for a cookout or camping trip with dad. So there you go, guys. Happy early Father's Day for all you dads out there. Without you fathers, civilization falls apart. So you are amazing. You are doing yeoman's work. Keep it up, and love those kids to death. So appreciate you guys so much. Check out the other video popping up. Look forward to hearing your thoughts. And again, subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.